what was the reason behind deciding to run for this office? I mean, you've got a lot of things.
First of all, I'm a prophetic dreamer, so I had spent a lot of 2019 and 20 having a lot of political dreams that I was in office. And because our youngest son Ezekiel is a seer, I went and got him and I said, hey, can you look around and see what you're seeing? Because I just really, I get a kick out of hearing him describe, what he sees. And so I said, let me know if you see anything. And so he looked in my bedroom and my bathroom and he said, there's nothing there. And then he goes into the closet, which is where I had been when I was praying. And he said, whoa. And his eyes got like big as saucers. And he kind of like started backing away and they started bending down. And he said, you've got a really big guy in your closet. And his power is pushing me to the ground.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And if you need any more evidence that MAGA candidates are the dumbest life forms on the planet, take this latest moron out of California, Rachel Hamm, running for the Secretary of State primary race, calling herself a prophetic dreamer, and says she's been having dreams that she's in political office. Sounds a bit like her hero right off the bat. He's more along the lines of a delusional thinker, pretending that he should be in office, getting all those free taxpayer-funded golf trips.
And we had never had, he'd never had that reaction ever to an angel. And so I'm like, he's for us, not against us, right? Because I was sure, it's a different response. And he's like, he's full of light. He's so full of light, I can't even see his face. And then he said, and he has a scroll in his hand. And so I was like, then he came with a message. Like, what is the message? And the message was a commissioning.
Anyway, this MAGA mom goes to her son because he's a seer. Well, isn't that convenient? So this kid goes around and probes the house with his alien antenna, searching for psychic energy in all the rooms. Then all of a sudden he gets to the coat closet and he says, you've got a really big guy in here. The kid gets pushed to the ground by the power of this entity inhabiting this closet. The kid says, it's an angel. No, wait, it's Jesus. And he's got a scroll in his hand. So they unfurl the scroll like they're Indiana Jones, and it says, run for office.
At the very end, I asked him what his name was, because I thought, what angel is this, And he said, Emmanuel. That wasn't an angel. That wasn't an angel. That was Jesus himself. And so that's why I'm running for Secretary of State. So it's kind of a unconventional answer that I honestly get mocked for, but by the other side of this war.
Good God, I can't believe this is a news story. This sounds like the entrance exam to a padded room in a psychic ward. This lady needs help now. Not even Monty Python could pass off a script this dumb for justifying political election. And realize that this is just par for the course with the MAGA crowd. They're all bananas, all of them. There's no ground in reality, no basis in fact, no interpersonal understanding. They are as far removed from reality as human beings can be. You might contend this is an extreme example, and yes, this lady is taking insanity beyond even clinical levels, but think about it. All her symptoms are common to every MAGA moron out there. She's a prophet. Her son is a seer, and it's hilarious. What exactly is the distinction supposed to be there? They magically probe around their house and discover Jesus has been hiding there all along. They just didn't notice him in the closet for the last 20 years, and he has a scroll to heavenly ordain his mom's candidacy? Really? Think of the parallels here. Why was the election rigged exactly? Where were all the anomalies that were going to be revealed in court? How was it that Trump prophesied that the election would be rigged 8 months prior? But oh, of course it would, but only if he lost. There isn't a single concept in the MAGA universe that is grounded in empirically verifiable fact. It's a Barbie world, and there are a bunch of Barbie girls living in a land of make-believe and worship to their shiny angel, living in their own mental closets. And somehow Donald Trump, the most revolting, unreligious wart you could possibly find, is their chosen deity. And don't think for a second if it wasn't him, it would literally be anybody who ran for president under the Republican ticket. These people are morons, and that's not a belief, an opinion, or a commentary. It's a fact rooted in their own actions, their own words, and their own Twilight Zone level thought processes. The primary election process is whoever Jesus hands a scroll to from their bedroom closet. It's the same reason we still have the big lie after it's been laughed out of every court in the country, and Joe Biden has been certified and recertified as president about 150 times now. Guess who's paying for all this crap? Yeah, thanks a lot, MAGAs. Where exactly is your limited government? Because I'll tell you, there isn't a government in the universe that should put these people on the payroll. You need medical help. MAGAs all suffer from the same symptoms, and it's indicative of this disease that it is. Sappers clear the way, they're born all the way.